She met a dude. 6 months later, they were married. How well did she even really know him? I think she's starting to ask herself that question because she's thinking maybe this dude is starting to stray a little bit, and she wants our help to try to figure out if he's cheating or not by doing War of the Roses to catch a cheater. Here's the email.
I am desperate for some help. I really hope I didn't make the mistake of a lifetime. I met and married a man all in a period of 6 months. I had been married before, and I got divorced 2 years ago. I was crushed when that happened. I'd always imagined my life as a married woman with kids. I know it isn't popular to say, but I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I commend all stay-at-home moms. You say that all you want. I met my now husband, who was also recently divorced. Instantly fell in love with him and his 3 kids. Even though I don't have kids of my own, he seemed to always say how mothering just seemed natural to me, and he loved seeing me with his kids. He said his ex just didn't have that same motherly demeanor, and it always bothered him. Quickly fell in love with my new role as a motherly figure to these kids, and he and I fell in love. He asked me to marry him, and I agreed. We got married in a small ceremony about a month later. Soon after getting married, we both decided it wasn't necessary for me to work and that I should quit my job to focus on the kids and setting up our new household. We also decided to try, so far unsuccessfully, to have another child of our own. Well, now it's been about a year since we've been married, and I love my new role, and I love these kids. However, something feels off. He doesn't seem to feel the way he used to for me. He always seems to take advantage of the fact that I'm always home, and he goes out a lot. I don't like that he gets defensive when I ask who he's out with. Can you help me with your War of the Roses and see if my suspicions are validated?
Man, 6 months they knew each other and were married, man. And I've heard this cliche before, like, when you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
I have friends.
Do you?
4 months.
What they say.
4 months, he proposed, and they have been married for over 15 years with 2 beautiful kids.
And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful story. But I wonder if you line up 100 couples that got married quickly within 6 months of knowing each other, what the divorce rate on those
Let's focus on my story.
Okay, I think yours is beautiful, and I love the romance behind it, man. But for me, when you know, you got to stick it out and just experiment for a long time before you make a lifelong commitment. So, I mean, how much can you really know somebody in 6 months? So there's got to be a little insecurity about it.
I would imagine so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long it takes to truly and fully know somebody, but I definitely feel like 6 months is not a long time. But if he is stepping out on a situation where she walked in and loved him and his 3 kids, that would be tragic.
Yes.
It makes me wonder, and this is just crazy speculation, that he met her, and because of the fact he complimented her on how mothering seems so natural to her, he's like, wow, I found somebody who can help me take care of these kids. They like her. She likes them. This is a good setup for me. Even though he wasn't like as romantically interested in her, he just knew she could be the mom that the kids need in their life.
Or maybe he just like mistook his feelings. Like, so he's watching her with his kids.
Yeah.
And he's feeling like these are feelings of love because they're so happy. And man, who doesn't want your kids to be around somebody influential and that you respect? So she's so good with the kids that he's confusing this for love. He jumps right in. We're making a lot of speculation here. He jumps right in here thinking this is real love. Then he gets in it. And while she is wonderful with his kids, maybe he's just not feeling it romantically. And now she's starting to feel the distance.
And I'm sure there's a lot of pressure with having 3 kids and trying to date. A lot of people may run from that. So maybe him finding someone who is not only running away from it, but running into it and embracing it and then so good at it, maybe even if he didn't fully feel the love for her, it was like, this is a good situation and I'm gonna get into it. And then I don't know, maybe he's doing something, maybe he's not on top of that.
How long were you dating Bart before you knew, like, I would get married today to this guy?
Oh gosh. I mean, I vividly remember the moment he said, I think I'm falling in love with you.
That's a safe line.
That's how you do it. Yeah.
That's a real safe line. Yeah.
One foot in at a time, baby.
I was still living in Kentucky. I was about to move to North Carolina, and he's like, I think I'm falling in love with you. But as far as the moment I knew I would marry him, it was probably after he moved to North Carolina. And
you were how long into your relationship at that point?
At least a year. Yeah, we were at least a year into it because I mean, as far as us living together, we fast tracked that. I mean, we dated for a month. I bounced, and then it was like 6 months later, he moved to North Carolina to be with me.
Mhm.
And
Wow,
he was
after a month. It was only a month y'all dated, and then you left, and then he followed. Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Okay.
And we literally, I mean, our timing, we met, and within a month of us meeting, I had gotten the gig, a morning show gig in North Carolina, and was leaving our hometown to pursue that. 6 months later, he followed, and he moved in with me, but was supposed to get a place of his own, which he never did. So yeah, I'd say probably after living together and making that kind of jump and making that kind of leap, and he literally left all of his friends, all of his family, like everything he knew to pursue this relationship with me. So I'd say like a year in.
Did you feel, this is totally taking us in a different direction. Did you feel more pressure to make it work because he took off with you?
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, God, that was so long ago because I mean, no joke, that was 15 years ago. But I'm sure I did. There was maybe a different level of commitment there because he had made those sacrifices.
Yeah, right. Okay. So we'll test them tonight. And I would really love for this to be like, no, he sent the flowers to her. I mean, it's 6 months. I want to believe in the romance of this. So we'll test them tonight and see what's up.
Well, they got married after 6 months, but they've been together a year since. They've been married for a year.
The Bert Show.
All right, so Danielle wanted our help last night. Very romantic when you meet somebody that says, I met him, and then like 6 months later, we were married. We just kind of knew. But now she's having kind of second thoughts that maybe this dude is messing around. Hey, Danielle.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we were reading your email yesterday, and give us the history between you and your husband. I mean, initially it's very romantic. I mean, you guys obviously just knew.
I mean, yeah, like you said, it happened very fast. I have been married and divorced, and he also is divorced. And when we met, it just like really clicked, and it was in the span of 6 months. You know, we met, we dated, we got married. He has 3 kids from his previous marriage, and I fell in love with them really quickly. And he also really loved how well we all got along and how I was really motherly to his kids. I guess his ex wasn't as... she just didn't have as much of a motherly personality. And so that was a big thing. And we just fell into like this natural rhythm of being a family. And we got married, had a small ceremony. And I'd say not long after that, we kind of decided together and as a family that I would quit my job. And I know it's not like super popular to say, but like I always did want to just kind of be a stay-at-home mom and like have kids. So this just seemed like the right decision for us. We've even tried to have another kid between us. That hasn't happened yet, but I've really just loved my role, you know, raising these kids, and I love these kids and love him. But the problem is, you know, as I was staying home and kind of, you know, just being the home caretaker, it seemed that he was kind of, I don't know, taking advantage of that, where he was staying out a lot and not coming home right away. And when I would ask him about it, he would get super defensive, and it would just kind of like shut down. And so I'm just wondering, like, are my suspicions kind of right that like something is wrong here? Like something is different. Like, is something going on?
And you felt this way recently, or kind of has it been a slow burn leading up to this point?
Yeah, it's kind of been a little while, kind of a slow burn, where at first it's like, maybe this is something just a little off. And now I feel like it's been happening more consistently, where it would be foolish of me not to kind of see what's going on.
And you're feeling a little insecure about it. So, I mean, we were debating yesterday, and I don't know where we're going with this whole thing. You know what? I don't even want to speculate on what I said yesterday, because this might all end up great, and then I put that in your head and it starts to mess with you a little bit. So forget about it.
When the two of you got together, and you know, you had mentioned in your email that he was attracted to the fact that you were so motherly and you were so great with the kids, and that it was just kind of like it came very natural to you. Has it always felt like a balanced relationship? And have you never felt taken advantage of for that?
Yeah, in the beginning, it was one of the things he really loved about me, even when we were dating, like when I was with his kids and stuff. So it was always something that was celebrated, kind of like how we all kind of fell in sync together. And it was something that was we just all enjoyed together. And yeah, it was like a celebration that this is just so natural.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's kind of like, okay, now where are you in the equation again? Like, why are you suddenly not as big a part of this?
Yeah, gosh, complicated. Okay, so you asked for our help last night to do a War of the Roses to catch a cheater and see if we offered him free roses if he would send those to you or not, which we did last night.
All right, so we did. We sent a fake promotional email to the email address Danielle in quotations, because obviously we've changed her name to talk to her, that she provided for us for her husband. He was offered a free bouquet of flowers and was able to choose from several options with pictures. 1, cactus makes perfect. Show your encouragement to a friend, coworker, or loved one with this charming collection of assorted cacti and succulents. That sounds lovely. You make me daisy. The most cheerful basket of white daisies will drive anyone crazy with delight. Mum's the word. When you don't have the right words to use, express yourself with flowers. This lovely arrangement of pink roses, giant sunflowers, lavender mums, and white carnations is a perfect way to express what's on your mind. And of course, as time rolls by, the classic bouquet that's pretty clever. As time rolls by, the classic bouquet of long-stemmed red roses, a passionate choice for someone you want to spend all your time with. In exchange, she's asked to share some promo codes for a percentage off a future order. The first promotional email was sent at 11:18 a.m., and we didn't hear anything. So a couple hours later, at 1:43 p.m., we sent the second email, and then we waited. And sure enough, he did order flowers at 2:17 p.m. He sent them to a residential address, and Danielle, he sent them to somebody by the name of Aaron, which is not your real name.
No, it's not.
Now, something that needs to be noted, because normally when we do this, the flowers are scheduled for like that weekend, the very next day. He's scheduled delivery for approximately 2 weeks from now. So he sent delivery for August 6th. He did choose the classic bouquet of long stem red roses, and the note on the card said, just because ... XOXOJ.
Okay. Jeez.
Do you know an Aaron?
I'm sorry. I'm still processing this. What?
Do you know a woman by the name of Aaron?
No, I don't.
And I assume woman because it's spelled ERIN, not AARON.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I told myself I was going to hope for the best and prepare for the worst, but I'm like gut punched right now.
There's no preparing for this, Danielle.
Is there anything about that date, that August 6th date, that speaks to you in any way, shape, or form? I mean, I wonder if you go back through your calendar or something.
I mean, I had talked about maybe taking the kids on a trip to see my family, but
right around that time
on that date.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
was he going to make that? Was he going to make that trip?
No, we had talked about me taking the kids and having them spend time with my parents.
Okay,
that's probably why.
Well, at least now, man, I mean, it sounds like your gut was right. There's something definitely going on there. And I'm not exactly sure in these cases how you approach him on it or tell him that you know, but I mean, that's almost inconsequential. Like, if you came to him and you said, I had a radio station test your loyalty, yeah, he's going to be really pissed, and he's going to try to cloud the issue there, but you've got the facts.
Well, I mean, my advice is I would blindside him and be like, who's Aaron? And just flat out ask him. And if he's like, how do you know who Aaron is? Be like, that's inconsequential. It doesn't matter how I know who's Aaron.
Yep.
And just not tell him how you got the information.
And you've done nothing wrong. He's going to try to turn this around on you, say you're being crazy or whatever. You got the facts, and we'll provide anything you want, okay?
I'm really sorry.
Thank you. I'm numb and I'm angry and I'm having flashbacks to my divorce and I'm just having like 8,000 feelings.
No doubt. That's why I'm going to try to get you off the phone as fast as possible, okay?
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye, Danielle.
The The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched? Well, you can get a lot more of The Bert Show for free on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.